An entire city sat half a kilometer out in the open sea, surrounded by walls 150 feet high, protected by the most powerful navy in the Mediterranean. No army in history had ever taken it. Not the Assyrians, not the Babylonians, not even the Egyptians. For centuries, the island fortress of Tyre was considered unconquerable. And then a 24-year-old king looked at the ocean and said, "I'll build my own land." Welcome to history that sounds like fiction. The year is 332 BC. Alexander the Great has already crushed the Persian army twice. He's conquered Egypt. He's swept through the entire eastern Mediterranean like a wildfire. But standing between him and total domination of the ancient world is one defiant city: Tyre. Tyre was no ordinary city. It was the crown jewel of Phoenicia, the richest trading civilization on Earth. And its people had made a decision that would seal their fate. When Alexander sent ambassadors to demand their surrender, the Tyrians didn't just refuse. They murdered his envoys and threw their bodies off the city walls into the sea. That was the last mistake they ever made. Alexander didn't retreat. He didn't wait for ships. He did something so audacious, so completely insane, that even his own generals thought he'd lost his mind. He ordered his army of over 40,000 men to build a causeway, a road made of stone and rubble, straight across the open Mediterranean Sea to reach the island. Soldiers demolished the old abandoned mainland city of Tyre and hurled the rubble into the water. They cut down entire forests from the mountains of Lebanon to drive massive timber pylons into the seabed. Day after day, week after week, thousands of men hauling stones, dragging logs, and dumping tons of earth into water that was over 6 meters deep. They were literally building land where the ocean used to be. And the Tyrians fought back with everything they had. Their warships attacked the construction crews with flaming arrows. They launched fire ships, boats packed with pitch, sulfur, and oil, that smashed into the half-built causeway and turned it into an inferno. Tyrian divers swam beneath the surface at night and sabotaged the timber supports. At one point, a massive storm destroyed weeks of progress in a single night. Alexander didn't stop. He widened the causeway. He built siege towers directly on the road so his archers could fire back at the Tyrian ships. He requisitioned over 200 warships from conquered coastal cities and assembled a fleet so large it choked the harbors around Tyre. And then he mounted battering rams on boats and sailed them straight at the island walls. After 7 brutal months, 7 months of fire, sabotage, storms, and relentless warfare, the causeway reached the island. Alexander's siege engines hammered the walls. His troops poured through a breach on the southern side. And what followed was one of the most devastating sackings in ancient history. Over 8,000 Tyrians were killed in the assault. Another 30,000, men, women, and children, were sold into slavery in a single day. Alexander ordered 2,000 captured warriors crucified along the coastline as a message to every city that might think of resisting. The once unconquerable island of Tyre was utterly destroyed. And the causeway? The road Alexander built across the sea? It's still there. Over 2,300 years later, sand and sediment have built up around it so completely that the island of Tyre is no longer an island. It's a peninsula. Alexander didn't just conquer Tyre. He permanently changed the geography of the earth. A 24-year-old king was told a city couldn't be taken, so he erased the ocean that protected it.